Hey, haven't you been wanting to start a podcast?
Yeah, but doesn't it take a lot to make one?
Well, let me tell you about Anchor. It's free, and it's the easiest way to make a podcast. On top of that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer.
Oh, that sounds amazing. But doesn't it take a lot of work to put my podcast on different platforms?
Actually, Anchor will distribute your podcast for you, so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more.
That sounds fantastic.
On top of that, you can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. So it's everything you need to make a podcast in one place.
So where do I get started?
Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. It's your host, Liz, and I'm here with Tyrant Dominus, aka Jesus. And if it's your first time listening, we hope you to follow or subscribe. It's free, and you can always unfollow or unsubscribe. So let's get into the episode. So, Jesus, how are you?
Busy. Been busy. Very busy. Home renovations, posting on stuff, all that shit. On top of that, work's not been that interesting. Oh, work's been interesting. We just got a new boss man, our new sales leader.
I've heard some stories already. It's not going well. It's not going well. That's what I heard. He's micromanaging.
No, here's the thing. I'll say this. The only people that are worried are people that aren't going to be doing their job properly. The thing is, I'm actually happy about this new manager. You know what he wants. He knows what he wants, and it's not even unreasonable either. It's just that our previous manager was pretty like lax about things and pretty just like happy-go-lucky a little bit. Which, it's fun to have a boss like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But so many people were getting away with so much that now people can't do that. People actually have to be held accountable for stuff, actually do their jobs. Which some people are like, oh no, oh my god, oh man, we have to actually work? Oh my god.
Bruh.
But
Yeah, well, okay, so the other story I heard is he was telling seafood manager not to overorder on the halibut, even though he knew that the halibut would sell by the weekend. He only bought in 2 cases and decided not to bring in 2 more cases because he wanted to show a point that he was going to be able to sell it out, and he was going to leave a blank space because your store manager told him not to order anymore, or not to over order it, and they're afraid they weren't going to sell those 2 cases. He's almost done. He's almost out of it. So by Friday. So here it is, the weekend, and he's going on vacation.
interesting.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I saw that part. Why micromanaging somebody who knows how they've been doing their job and doing well on sales.
So yeah, that's the thing.
Why micromanage the person who's doing really well? They're not getting in their bonuses anymore, so why go after that guy?
Bruh.
True. So yeah, it's probably different for different different departments, stuff like that. I'm not 100% what's happening, but I know a lot of the people that I've been talking to are a little bit more nervous and scared.
Well, yeah,
we were
those
a little
people who
worried too
weren't
as well.
working. Those who aren't working, I agree with you. They should be like on their frets now that they're gonna be actually watched. So
Yeah, exactly. Which at first we weren't worried. We were. What's the best way to put it? We were not even concerned. We were maybe perturbed, probably. I don't know what the best word to say. Let me think. It was like this moment where it's this moment when you're like, probably like, if you're in a project and your like teacher tells you like, oh, this is what you need to do, and then like halfway through the project they tell you like, oh no, there's this much more stuff you have to do, and you were already on the right track, but you're not, kind of moment. Like, oh, now you got to be rushing at
unsettling,
the end, right?
Unsettling.
Yeah, there you go. It's a little unsettling. There you go. And I kind of relate this to the rest of my team, And after we had like a little mini meeting, I looked like this one meeting. Luckily, my entire team was there, so I was able to relay all this information, and we came to an understanding. Because, like, I spoke to the boss man and told him, "Hey, what do you want from us? This like for the most part, as long as you understand what the requirements are from your superiors, and if they're within reason, it's not hard to do. Like if it's not that difficult to do." It's when things become very unreasonable. That's when people start butting heads, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Exactly.
so like he told me exactly what he wanted, and like they were two pretty simple things, and we came over what other things he wanted, but the main two stuff he wanted, and I was like thinking to myself, that's what he's asking for. It's not difficult for my team. So I like, all right, we'll get it done. I talked to the rest of my team. They were a little upset too, but I told them you get more money at this point, and they were a little hesitant. But at the end of our meeting, we were like all came to agreement how things are going to be moving forward, to basically maintain this order between us and the management. And yeah, like for us, it was smooth. Like it's just trying to get through it now and actually execute it, right? Yeah. So for us, we see no problem. I can understand micromanaging stuff like that. It is, as far as up to the recording of this episode, it's only been roughly the first week he's been there. It's been 1 week and people are already panicking. So
I get the panic on those people, but the people who've been doing their jobs even without management butting into them, that's
another story.
Yeah, that's another story. That's why I'm a little concerned about that, and just I don't know.
Yeah, I would need to find out more about that myself.
Well, the wood burn store, I can understand why.
So yeah. Anyways, how you been?
I'm doing okay. Not getting enough sleep. The damn dog keeps waking me up in the middle of the night.
Bruh.
But yeah, otherwise I'm okay. I'm okay. I had a happy hour yesterday, so that was a highlight of my night. I had introduced to a friend of mine to another friend of mine, because we're not in the same circle. So now that my circle kind of got a little bit bigger, they know each other now, so they're familiar with who I'm talking about. So which is good. So I can't complain. My 10-year-old is happening this weekend. Oh. I got a 10-year-old. I can't believe it. I have a 10-year-old. And it's weird to say that too. Like, how do you like? I still feel like I just brought her home from the hospital. I mean,
well, then happy birthday.
I grew up too fast.
Rude.
But that's a great milestone. A great milestone. Well, I took off the weekend because I was like, I'm taking off this weekend. I was at least for her birthday. I was hoping just for her birthday. And the guy was like, I'm just gonna give it to you for the whole weekend. Okay.
There you go.
No argument.
Nice.
That was nice of him too. Yep.
All right. Then
my review comes up next week, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mostly since you've been doing all this like years. It's already been 2 years. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm excited because I get a pay raise.
Oh, like, there you go. That's where it comes from.
Yeah.
On top of that, you've been doing a lot of new stuff recently too.
Yeah, I have been. I've been stepping up and doing more things, taking on new roles and stuff like that. So I'm hoping that will play out well in my behalf. We'll see.
All right, let's get into some of these stories. What caught your attention?
All right, I have a quick question. So the one of the teammates who was mad about wearing the mask still, is he still there?
Teammate? What?
Your workmate.
I don't know. They probably are. I don't know.
The one you were talking about a couple weeks ago.
The one complaining. There's been multiple people complaining.
Yeah. Okay. Those multiple complaining people. Are they still wearing the mask?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they have to.
Did you hear? See. Yeah. Well, did you see that K2 just put out an article about the Delta variant being so strong?
Okay. Yeah. Let's start with that then, because everyone's been like memeing the Delta variant. No! Right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, can you since you're the kind of like our, out of everyone that we in our group, you're the most most valuable person with this information. So can you explain a little bit what you know about the Delta variant of of this strain.
So you know how in the last a couple months ago our numbers were declining because of people being vaccinated, right?
Correct.
So well now the numbers are spiking since like pretty much the beginning of July. They have been spiking every weekend. We're seeing higher and higher cases, and we're seeing more hospitalizations. What people don't realize is the people who are not vaccinated that are coming down with it, with such a severe high case of it, and that's why our death toll numbers are going higher, right? So, but that's basically it is a reason why we have to continue to be vaccinated and get vaccinated as much as possible, because that Delta variant is quicker to attack. So it's a lot faster spread. Yes, those who have been vaccinated are ahead of the game. We're gonna if we do get it, it's a very mild case.
And look at that shit.
Yeah, so I was very like, oh yeah, that would make sense. Here we are. The cases are getting higher, and Delta variant is just quicker and it's a lot faster, and it takes a hold of the person a lot worse. So on top of that, being vaccinated is like really the urge for everybody, and we're seeing a lot of younger people who are not vaccinated who decided not to get vaccinated, and there have been a lot of cases where people are like, don't let me die. Well, why didn't you get the vaccine? You had the opportunity. We're actually going to see that Johnson & Johnson no longer make the vaccine for us. We're trying to use up as many of our doses in the hospital alone, so that people at least have somewhat of a little bit of immunity. Since Johnson & Johnson isn't as great as the Pfizer or the Moderna.
Bruh.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. Like we joked about it earlier. Like, it's survival of the fittest or smartest at this point.
Yeah, I already talked to my brother and my younger brother, because he's not vaccinated yet. And the other person in my family who doesn't want to is anti-vaxxer. That's their decision. But ultimately, we're gonna see this thing. So, and then that takes us into the next article that I posted about cruise lines making you have to spend extra money, so that if they do go, they're making second class citizens because they're unvaccinated.
Well, I totally agree with that. I told you the segregation has started.
And you need to mind your damn business, bitch!
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
and it was quite a go ahead. I thought it was a highlight too. It's a highlight to the whole thing. We're gonna see this, and there's a lot of as in Florida was the one who kind of put that you can't access the service of the vaccination, and so they're like, well, if you don't want to show us your vaccination, you got to pay this much extra money, $25,000 to $50,000 per person that is unvaccinated, because if they get stranded, you know how much money they're losing? I don't know if anybody remembers that at the beginning of last year when there was an outbreak and they had to be off the shoreline. They couldn't even dock.
I remember hearing about this one cruise ship in Japan that all the basically the foreigners were just stuck there. Like, they had no real contact with the outside world besides their phones and things like that. And if their phones kind of died, they were screwed. Things like that. And they were getting meals and stuff provided to them because of the government. But they just couldn't leave that cruise ship at all. At all.
No, they couldn't. And that's where they're coming from.
It's kind of like
Go ahead.
No, yeah. Oh, it's kind of like the story we talked about the other guy, the guy that was stranded on that ship for a year and a half.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, he had people. You had a community. But still, it's one of those things that since we're talking about a cruise ship, we understand now that and as far as the states are concerned, people are out and about now, and no one's, for the most part, when I go out, I go out very rarely, but when I do go out, I almost see no one wearing masks. Only employees and stuff.
It does feel weird. It feels awkward that I'm not seeing it anymore. Last year, I remember we were all masked up. We were pretty much quarantining at home and all that crap. And well, granted, last year I was about this time I was up in Chicago for my uncle's memorial service. So that was, it feels weird to be in that concept of, we were last year so messed up, quarantine and all that stuff. And this year we're not. it feels awkward. I was telling my mom this. I'm like, this is weird. This is kind of weird. And I'm not, I should be wearing I wear a mask all the time at work. I have to. There's no if, ands, or buts about it. Because I work in a hospital situation, and in hospitals you have to wear a mask, right? So, yeah, it's got to be weird for you too. I mean, you go from work kind of have to be wearing the mask to not wearing the mask, and
Yeah, but like I said, I've stated multiple times. Like we didn't really wear a mask after hours are over, and only when there was customers around, stuff like. And even then, once we went back, the only awkward part was afterwards was like, oh, no one's wearing masks now. Okay. And yeah, everything overall has kind of normalized as far as work. It's mostly when you're in public now, because then you just don't know.
yeah.
Like when you yourself are in public, and you're putting yourself in that situation. Mostly, you mentioned this before that your daughter is not vaccinated because they still haven't.
They're working on it.
They're working on it. Okay, so
There's
yeah, they haven't
trials.
like done that.
I was talking to one of my pharmacists about that, and he's like, "Well, there are trials. I haven't really been focused on that, but because he doesn't have kids and doesn't plan on having kids, but he said there are trials. They're working on it. We might see something in the fall." I'm like, "Okay, well, trust me.
Exactly.
As soon as they have one,
Exactly.
bam."
Exactly. It's like you're putting like, because right now it's as far as the northern hemisphere is concerned, it's summertime. People are going out to party. Like it's like nothing happened. Like people are in clubs, people are in beaches. Like it's like you see these images on social media and stuff. Like people are just hanging out like normal. And like I'm not saying you shouldn't. It's like it's your right to do that. But you're putting depending if you are vaccinated or not, you're putting yourself and others at risk depending on your situation. And well, you can only do so much. You can only do so much. And we'll just continue to push forward and see. And whoever makes it through, and whoever falls along the way just falls along the way.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Exactly. And I guess there was a talk about in one of the articles, because I've read so many articles in last week about COVID strain, is that people who had the COVID and then gotten vaccinated, they're like the ultimate like suppressors of the immunity to it, because they're like, their bodies know exactly what to do with it. They just toss it, they're like, they don't have any response to it per se, because they already had the experience, you know what I mean? So.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Ultimate immunity. I want that. Of course, I don't want the COVID.
means
I
you
don't
wanna
want COVID. I don't want COVID.
Exactly. I was like, wait a second. No, did you see what you said?
I know.
Bruh.
So yeah, let's get some of these other stories. Let's get into like these sadder moments too. So well, it is kind of the stupid sad one.
What's stupid
because,
sad? There's a few of them out there.
There's a lot of them out there. You don't surf the internet enough to find them.
No, I don't, because that's too depressing.
So the first one is that minimum wage workers can't afford to rent anywhere in America. So
I was talking about this last night.
Yeah. So after I kind of read everything. So do you know what the federal minimum wage is?
$7.25.
Correct. So I did the math, and every state has a different minimum wage, and it's understandable depending on where you live in the situation. It's somewhere places is cheaper to live than others, and so on and so on. Correct. So there's a lot of people debating. But if you take like a baseline, an average of the entire thing, and then you take like the average of the minimum rentals in the states, a person working 40 hours a week at like average minimum wage could not rent a place to live on their own. So say 20-year-old you wanted to move out around this time, you would not be able to do that. You would need to find a roommate or two, things like that, just to
I think that's always
live
been
alone.
Yeah, well, I think that's always been something I've ever thought about. But again, it is the same thing that I thought when I was in my 20s. There is no way physically to live on my own. I would need a partner or a roommate to make it work.
True, but at this point in time now, you need at least two, or so a total of 3 people to occupy a single to get a place now.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to this one of my team members. Her and her partner are thinking of moving out, And we were actually having this discussion and stuff, and they wanted to kind of cut their hours a little bit, and like, oh, okay, it's fine, you want to work less day, I don't mind, because they're trying to do stuff. And then they brought up like moving out and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, okay. And then like, does your partner work? Like, no, they're going to school full time. So you're gonna, for the most part, you're gonna support. Like, yeah. So I'm thinking to myself, how are you gonna do this? Like, well, we have like a couple friends that are gonna, okay, and they were willing to kind of give out this information. So there's like in this situation, this scenario, there's a total of 5 people. Okay.
Damn. Okay.
Five people. So 2 couples and a single. 2 people are not working; they're going full-time school, while 3 people are working. So, I tell them like, okay, and we take the average in this area, places they wanted to go around, right, to find a place to rent. And I was like, okay, are you sure you still want to cut your hours down? Like, yeah, I'm trying to get stuff done and do more stuff with them. Like, well, and I was like, I asked him, like, is your significant other going to also get a part-time job? Like, no, they're working full. Like, are you gonna be able to afford this? Like maybe, we'll see. And I'm like, all right. And then I kind of brought up the article, this specific article. I'm like, oh, well, and like I asked, I kind of partially asked like what the other situation about the other ones. Like, I'm like, okay. And then I brought this scenario out right here. So I like, if you honestly, like, a single person wanted to live on their own in this area, minimum wage, a person at the cheapest place I could find within 50 miles of where I started searching for them, the cheapest place was $1,600 a month.
Yep.
And a single person working minimum wage in this minimum wage, which minimum wage in the state of Oregon is $12.75.
No, it's
would
actually
need to
increased.
be working.
It increased.
Yeah, as far as did it? What is it? Well, you're saying it's $12.75 for now because that is the math I did.
Okay.
I think that's Portland. That's the Portland area.
No, it's for the metro too.
Yeah, you're thinking of the.
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now. I'm googling it. Portland
okay.
Metro minimum wage is $14 an hour as of July 1st.
True. As far as the one I got, it says $12.75. So I'm gonna use that math for now.
Okay, you use that. That's in Standard County. So it's people who are not like out further. So beyond.
Well, let's just go with that. Let's just do that then for now. Let's just do that. Yeah, for now. Let's do that. Okay. That's just because that's the math I did. It's $12.75. So a person would need to, minimum wage would need to be working 60 hours a week, so a full-time and a part-time job, just to live on their own at minimum wage.
Yeah, isn't this a discussion
and I told them
about...
go
ahead.
I know, and I told this to my teammate, and like, oh no, oh my god, like, yeah, like, you, like, if you're like, they're honestly thinking of moving out. I told them, like, if you're honestly thinking of moving out with these individuals, you guys need to be making X amount of money. So I don't think you should be cutting like, but I don't want to work this much. Like, you might need to if your significant other is not going to be working a part-time job or anything, because that's just rent. I think that's not even utilities or food,
or like, insurances or anything of that
exactly.
nature. Yeah, it's
like
always
phone bills, things like that.
Exactly. How do you?
Go
ahead.
No, go for it.
It's just like what you were saying in the last podcast. You basically work to live almost. In that concept, you're just trying to make it work, and you don't live to live anymore. So.
Yep, exactly.
Bruh.
And it's one of those moments when you're thinking, and you're thinking like,
are you out of your mind?
Sometimes it just feels like that, and it's just how the economy is right now, but just kind of push forward. And I've been seeing a lot, because while I was searching these rental places, I've seen a lot of like these just room rentals too. I've known it's been a thing, but I've been seeing more room rentals popping up more often now. And now that the renters kind of thing is coming to a stop soon, and then also that people are gonna stop getting unemployment as well, it's gonna be interesting. gonna be interesting.
Yeah, it's chaos, and with gas being almost $4 a gallon, or it is right now at this moment, I don't know. I only gas up like once a month, so thankfully, yeah. I'm like, and even as you try and move out as far and farther and further out, and it's cheaper rent, but then you have the cost of gas. It just eats it all up.
Yeah, you're not accounting for. You gotta find a new job, but then you gotta start over. And like, yeah, it's crazy. It's like, where is the census of the like
where's the government
at this
in
point?
this and
This is
helping us
where
out?
they don't care about the people.
I know they don't.
So at this point, it's at the point where like even I can't leave my workplace because I wouldn't be able to make enough. And I'm fortunate enough that I bought my home early. That I'm like, so I'm very like I personally am very fortunate for the situation I'm in. But also I just can't leave my place because there's no place that would give me the right the right income I would need to support myself. So this is how you get trapped in these holes and stuff like that. This is how some government locations just kind of hold people in their spots. You keep the poor, and yeah,
The rich richer.
or yeah. So yes,
Yeah,
but let's push forward. Actually,
okay. What else we got on there?
let's push. Well, we're gonna push forward because even though some of us are stuck in our jobs, for better or worse, there was a group of we all quit at a Burger King. Posted in that one like sign they have for all the like
Yes,
menu
I
items
posted that.
So
That was
here, I'll
sad.
let you go for that.
So in this article, it's it was a place in Nebraska. They just had to resign. All of them had to quit because they just were stretched to the limit. They were working 7 days straight, endless hours, and this got to the point, and they were asking, for more staff. They couldn't get enough staff, and at that point, the employees are looking at each other and like, we all quit. Bye. I don't blame them though.
Go.
I mean, if you're difficult working conditions. I mean, it gets 90 plus degrees and where they're at, and working at a barbecue, in front of a grill, that gets hot, short staff, and then long hours. So it's not a surprise. And we're gonna see a lot of this because a lot of the staff are overworked and not enough pay for what they do. I mean, I get it. We were at a place in Montana, another Burger King, and said we're short staffed, so the dining was closed. We waited over 15 minutes. We hadn't been helped. They're like, "Oh, we had a spill." I'm like, "Okay." It took forever for that spill to be maintained. So we kind of got to the point at 15 minutes. They're like, "We're hungry. We've been on the road since and yeah, it was not fun. It was not good."
Oh yeah, let's continue on. There's another story that kind of jumps like this too. There are people that are just walking out in the middle of their shifts, like in the restaurant business. And
Oh yeah,
you're right. It's just things are just.
And then
this
I don't know if you ever
fine.
saw the other articles. I didn't post them, but I did. They were pretty dominant everywhere. It's about these people. They had to close the business because people were being darn rude to them. They were making the staff cry.
Yeah.
I was like, and that's where we have a problem on this side of the world. Like, we take advantage of this. Like, here we are able to, what's the word I want to use? As people are finally getting back into civilization, we should be acting civilized, but we're very uncivilized.
But I want my food the way I want it, and it should be done at the fastest method possible. I deserve that. I am the customer.
And the customer's not always right. Just saying.
You're living in the new world order. You need to talk. You gotta go old school.
Yeah, I know. It's just sad though. It really is sad.
Bruh.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and I don't blame people like leaving their jobs like this. But some people suffer through it because, like we were saying earlier, you just can't afford to leave these.
Speaking of
And
unafford,
you can't
afford it. Did you hear about that woman who was negative $49 million in debt?
No, what happened there?
It was
Did you
49
post
billion.
it?
So there was a glitch in the system, and she was like just looking in her account, to see if she can go out to go eat with her friends. And she looked at her account; it was negative $49 billion in debt. She's like, "What? I didn't, It's like a nice, go out and you're drunk and you spend a little bit of extra money than you anticipated. But like she was just chilling out with her friends and like, oh, I'm just gonna go see if I have enough money to go out with my friends to go have a bite to eat.
My gosh. I know where she spent her money. She spent her money going to space with all the other billionaires,
Yeah, and they all look like penises. Oh, did I say that? The memes are fresh on that shit. That is hilarious. My favorite one is go ahead.
No, it's perfect. It's a perfect segue. Like the lady gets into debt after a weird conjunction, but now there's billionaires like kind of fighting their way to go to spin this article. But yeah, it's like it's been a thing that's been happening, that Elon Musk and the guy from Virgin trying to go to space. I forget the name of it.
And there was like one other one too, right?
Jeff Bezos. So basically, Amazon.
Well, he's no longer. He resigned. Remember, he's resigned.
You know what? For now, he's always going to be the face of Amazon. So you got Amazon, Tesla, and Virgin trying to get in.
Yeah, so there's three of them like that.
Does this article not exist anymore?
No, it's here. Oh wait, that one? Good luck.
Not loading up.
I got it to work.
That is weird.
Sucker.
Oh, there you go. I don't know why. That's acting up. But yeah, but Virgin was able to make it on top. They made it where the first public people who are able to go to the moon, or not the moon, but to space on their own. And it's one of those things we're getting to the point where you're going to be able to take a trip around the planet, which would be cool.
And we can defeat the flat Earth idea.
No, that's never going to happen.
I know. It's a flat sun. Okay.
And you need to mind your damn business, bitch!
So, yeah, like you gotta know that the world is flat, and underneath all of it, once you get to the bottom, there's nothing but bedrock. But under the bedrock is the Nether. Remember
that. My favorite meme was it's been what? Jesus?
I don't know.
Yep. Yes, we're back.
No, I'm here. No, I've been here. It's just
my favorite meme, I don't know if you saw that one, with Jeff Bezos goes, Alexa, open the pod doors. And Alexa's like, I cannot compute that. I cannot open the pod doors.
Wow.
I was laughing. I was like, that's kind of funny. I shouldn't be like, it's funny. It's funny. Like penis.
All rockets look like penis. I don't know why that's coming to.
Yeah. Did they relate it to Austin Powers? What was the bad guy's name?
Dr. Evil.
Dr. Evil, yeah. And they're related to that one. That's funny.
Truly. So
it's good, huh? There's some good humor to it.
It is.
Bruh.
Yeah.
No, for some reason it's like acting up. Like it's acting up slow a little bit. I don't know why. Yeah. But let's move on to let's get back on the land, go back on the street, and apparently there was an attempted kidnapping in broad daylight.
No, that was crazy. But I mean, it's been going on for a while because we're seeing a lot of not drug busts, but like rings being busted, like child rings, sex rings been busted, and they're getting more brazen and like doing it in the middle of broad daylight. I mean,
I don't know why people.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know why people aren't doing it like they used to. Just go in the middle of the night, kidnap some people, and go sell them off. Like, are they that scarce on their product to have to go in the middle of the day?
Well, I don't know. I think it's just because the demand is there and there's not enough bodies for it now. Yeah. As sad as it said, I'm not trying to get on that side. That's just grody to me on so many levels. But I think we're just seeing a high number of happening in the middle of broad daylight. When it was like a few weeks ago we were doing the article about a guy just jumping the restaurant thing trying to kidnap a little girl, like in the broad daylight, and her parents stopped it. But that was like, it's crazy. It's just crazy to think that this shit happens in the middle of the day. Yeah. Like they didn't give a care. Like I mean, like here are cameras all over the place. So I'm glad that the mother was able to do something, react to it. Be able to stop this happening. So
true. Because once they're gone, they're probably never gonna see them again.
That's just scary to think.
Well, it's a thing that happens more often than not, and people need to really look into it.
I guess crime doesn't matter what time of day it happens, right?
Not for profit. So exactly.
Yeah,
Well, if you want to make your big money, you got to do it during the day.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like,
Did you hear about the
that's when
100-pound?
the most. Go for it.
Go for it.
No, go for it.
I was just transitioning over to a lighter subject.
No, none of the topics we have are sad. Like most of them are all horrible and stupid.
I know, except for the 100-pound
and I'm
one.
just gonna-
Did you see about this 100-pound tropical fish off the coast of Oregon?
Oh yeah, for a second I thought you were gonna talk about a 100-pound baby. Like, what the fuck are you gonna talk about now? Yeah.
100-pound baby.
Bruh.
That's funny. No. I know a bunch of 100-pound babies, but you know, they're boys. I'm not growing up.
Are you out of your mind?
No, I was just gonna read on this one just because it's a little bit lighter and it just seems cool. I don't know if you saw that in a seaside. There's a rare opah fish, 100-pound, got caught off the coast of Oregon. I thought it was really cool because they're tropical fish. So to see not a normal fish of Oregon, you know, we're known for our salmon, our trout, our what out there, you know, just a normal fish, but not opah fish. This is kind of cool.
That is kind of cool. Looking at the fish right now. It's an interesting looking fish. That's crazy.
Yeah, isn't
Is it
that
up
cool?
here?
It looks like not a flounder, but what do you call that kind of fish? A halibut. Kind of reminds me of a halibut, doesn't it? Are you there? Jesus. Hello? Uh-oh, we lost Jesus. Jesus, come through. Hello? Uh-oh. I guess that's all, folks. I don't know where Jesus went to. Hello? Hello? Okay. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. I can't hear anybody. Jesus, are you there? Come back from the grave. My computer freezing up? Okay. I guess that's all, folks. We're gonna call it a day. This is your host, Liz, and Jesus. He left the room. He left the room. He froze. We're gonna call it a day, guys, I guess. That's all for today. Thank you for listening, and as always, come back and listen again. We miss you guys. Oh, there you are. Or not. Jesus, come back.
Yeah. Can you hear me? How does it sound?
There we go.
All right. How does it sound?
Better.
Okay. I think it's my computer completely.
That you were just ready to quit it. You're like, I'm done talking to.
No. My computer completely crapped out on me. I'm on my phone right now.
Done.
Yeah. I don't know why. I was saying earlier, it's time for a new computer. I didn't think it was gonna be this early. Wow, that's kind of sucks actually. But hopefully it sounds decent. So
It does sound decent. Sounds weird.
yeah, we might have to end this one early because I don't know why. Yeah, everything's like acting up really bad right
I
now.
kind of started it off already. I was thinking you were not coming back.
So yeah, is there anything you want to finish talking with?
No. I hope everybody has a great week and stay cool. It's supposed to be another 90-something weekend. I know
Okay, in the Pacific Northwest.
Yep.
So if everyone has worse weather, good and bad for you.
Yep. Stay cool.
Is there anything you want to shout out?
Shout out to all our sponsors. They're amazing. Thank you for
We
sponsoring us.
don't have any sponsors yet. I wish we had
okay.
sponsors.
I'm dreaming of the sponsors.
We did
Putting
almost
out
have
good vibes.
sponsors.
Putting out good
We almost had
vibes
sponsors.
for more.
True. They weren't the sponsors we wanted or needed. So, but we'll keep pushing and seeing if we get them. But yeah, I'll shout out if you guys want. I've been streaming a lot more. If you want to catch me live, you can catch me on twitch.tv/tyrant_Dominus. You can come hang out. Liz sometimes shows up every once in a while. So yeah, you can come chat and hang out.
Yeah, definitely. I was trying to get there yesterday, but you know, it happened to be after right as before my lunch, and I was like, it's gonna be weird jumping in the middle of it. I won't know what's going on.
That doesn't matter. People hop on and off whenever.
True.
Literally like 3 people hopped on the last hour I was streaming, just asking questions. Because that's the fun thing about streaming. Like you don't have to hop on the beginning. You can hop up in the middle and the end. And even if you don't know exactly what's happening, you can just follow through and people in chat. Like besides you and my sister who are like
the people who do hop on. I have like 2 other regulars now who hop on and chat with me.
That's cool.
Shout out to Happy and and yeah, they've just been hanging out, chatting, and they just that's the fun thing about streaming. It's just been random, and I almost had an opportunity to be on a showcase on a different bigger streamer show, but my internet crapped out. So it just must be my luck that my internet and my computer are acting up right now. It sucks, but I gotta get this fixed, and I'm hoping that the opportunity arrives again, and I didn't lose it. Because it'll be fun to get more audience members for the stream and for the show. Also,
Yes.
by the time this comes out, you could probably listen to my Space Jam review. Go check that out on Reaction Cast. So you can hear how much I dislike and hate that movie.
It's just not the same. It's just
listen
not
to
the
that one.
same anymore. We were watching the old
No,
one.
it's a
I were
garbage.
cracking up.
Yeah. When you watch the new ones, you're gonna just feel like it's like garbage pandering.
So I should be drunk watching it. Got it.
Oh God, yes. Oh God, yes. Like you have at least have drink one single beer before, or alcoholic beverage before, and have 2 ready during, and have already had like 2 shots beforehand. And then you'll be prepared for the enjoyment you're about to engage. If you're going in there sober, God, you're gonna hate that movie so much. It just if you guys want to hear me tirade, go listen to my review. But anything else before you head out?
No. Have a great weekend, y'all. Thank you for everybody listening. Shouting out to all my friends who do listen to our podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Shout out to you guys. Until next time then. See you guys.